As you know, the Pythagoras in Greece introduced irrational numbers in 400 BC. You know the name of Archimedes? Archimedes is a Greek genius who computed digits in decimals, expansion of pi. And I think you already know the name of Ramanujam, who has born in Chennai, India, was able to calculate the value of pi correct to million of decimal places. So, today we are going to start real numbers. Have you seen on the board? Now, we have learned about various types of number in our earlier classes. Let us review them. First is natural numbers. All counting numbers are known as natural numbers. Thus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all called natural numbers. Next number is whole numbers. All natural numbers together with 0 form the collection of all whole numbers. Thus, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are called together as a whole numbers. Next is integers. All natural numbers 0 and the negative of natural numbers form the collection of all integer. Thus, we can say the collection of all positive and negative integers together with 0 is called integers. Every natural number is an integer and every whole number is an integer. So these are the three types of number. So more on numbers. Fourth one is rational numbers. The numbers of the form p upon q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0 are known as rational numbers. So every number which we can write in the form of p upon q are known as rational numbers, where q is not equal to 0. So here are some cases. 0 is a rational number because we can write 0 as 0 upon 1. So this is the form of p upon q. So we can say 0 is a rational number. Next one is every natural number is a rational number. Every natural number can be expressed in the form of p upon q, so that we can say every natural number is a rational number. See, 1 we can write as 1 upon 1, 2 we can write as 2 upon 1, 3 we can write as 3 upon 1 and so on. Then we can say that every natural number is a rational number. Next special case is every integer is a rational number, because every integer can be represented in the form of p upon q. So let's take an example here. As an integer a, we can write a as a upon 1. So every integer is also a rational number. Next one is irrational numbers. A number which cannot be written in the form of p upon q is called irrational number. Irrational numbers. A number which can neither be expressed as terminating decimal nor as a repeating decimal is called irrational numbers. For examples, root 2, root 3, cube root of 5, 0.20002000100 dash dash dash. These are the irrational numbers. There is a different definition of irrational number is the number which we cannot write in the form of p upon q is called irrational number, where q is not equal to 0. You can also learn this definition of irrational numbers. Suppose if we have a number and we square it and we will get a positive number, then the number is called real number. There are some special cases or properties of real numbers are all rational and irrational numbers form the collection of all real numbers. So we can say rational and irrational numbers together form the real numbers. Second one is every real number is either rational or irrational. So every number is real number either if it has rational number or if it is irrational number. Every real number can be expressed by a unique point on the real number line. So everyone know what is a number line? This is the number line in which we represent the numbers like this. On the right hand side on the number line we have to put the all positive numbers, and left hand side we have to put all the negative numbers. So on this number line we can express any real number or every real number expressed by a unique point. So every real number can be expressed by a unique point on the real number line, or we can say every real number can be represented on the number line simply as we can say. Next is between any two real numbers. Between any two real numbers there exists infinitely many real numbers. So between 3 and 2 there are so many numbers and they are real numbers. So this is for all the real numbers. We have to learn in class 10th two important properties of positive integers. First one is Euclid division algorithm, and shortly we can say EDA. Second is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. As the name suggests, has to do with divisibility of integers, which is stated as any positive integer a can be divided by another positive integer b in such a way it leaves a remainder r that is smaller than b. This definition can be stated as a is equal to b cube plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0 or r is less than equal to b. For example, if we divided 49 by 5, what I'll get? These are the two positive integers. 49 is a positive integer, 5 is also a positive integer. So let's divide it. On dividing, it gives remainder 4. So here r is equal to 4, q is equal to 9, this one is a and this one is b. So this can be written in this form. We can write 49 is equal to 5 into 9 plus 4. So any positive integer, if a and b divided by each other, we get a remainder r, and every time we have to check it out, this remainder will always be less than by v. So this is the statement of Euclid division algorithm. So what is algorithm? It is a series of well-defined steps. It is a series of well-defined steps which gives a procedure for solving a type of problem. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic, which states every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes and factorization is unique. Every composite number can be expressed or factorized as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factor occurs. Or we can say also the prime factorization of any natural number is always unique except the order of its factorization. So 20 is a number, we can represent it like 2 multiplied by 2 into 5. So this factorization is always unique for 20. In the same way, if we find the factorization of 120, we will get 2 cube multiplied by 3 and multiplied by 5. So every time we will get these numbers as a product of prime, and this one is a unique. So this is the statement of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Thank you.